Give me. Hey guys, Scrubbermillion here, and we're back with some more Melty type Lumina. So yeah, first of all, happy Halloween everyone. Of course, I'm dressed, ready to the occasion. The rest is Dead Apostle, of course, no vampire. Dead Apostle, they say it right, you know. But yeah, we are here because there are a couple news we need to talk about. So first of all, there is a new update to be released for Melty type Lumina, as well as there's some DLC announcements. So let's go over some of these things. First of all, the patch, which is mostly gonna be bug fixes, but there are a couple things here and there that I think are worth discussing. And then let's give our opinions or thoughts on the possible DLC characters. Okay, let's get started. So here we have the website for Melty type Lumina. Version 1.03 is gonna be mostly some character adjustments. We're gonna go over them in detail in just a second, and mostly bug fixes. So yeah, we've been literally 1 month into the game, and we have encountered some interesting bugs here and here. Gotta say, there's a couple that actually are not being treated, or they're not being solved in this patch, at least allegedly. They are not saying this in the patch notes, but I want to see what's gonna happen about it. So I'm not gonna go too hard into the small character adjustments, like for example, Tono and Arc just got minor bug fixes on some of their input commands or whatnot. I want to focus on some of the bugs that are more critical and some of the actual character buffs. There are barely any nerfs in this patch, which of course is good. You know, it's literally 1 month old. Let the game develop. Right? So first one that's getting big buffs here are Ciel. So first of all her moon skills, as you can see here, are getting buffed. So her DP moon skill is getting buffed, her Blackie throw moon skill is getting thrown, and this one specifically, her jump moon skill for BC, this is the jump piece, is getting super buffed because now you can jump cancel that one. It's really similar to the way Red Arc Wark can do also with her air ring moon skill, which I think is one of the better ones in the game. So I think this is gonna make Ciel's neutral even scarier now, way more scary, especially in the air. So right now, her game plan is pretty honest, her neutral is pretty good. You know, she has pretty good air normals, but her other specials, like free throws, are very committal, so they're not as good to use. However, being able to just throw a lot of keys, cover the space, and being able to keep moving after, it is game changing. So I think this moon skill is gonna definitely affect how the character plays in neutral. Other than that, yeah, there's some bug fixes here, and some minor quality of life changes to her other moves here and there, especially her JA getting a hitbox buff here downwards. Pretty good stuff. So yay, y'all players, y'all got the good buffs. So a character you could say is getting nerfed, it's gonna be Hisui, actually my main right here. The nerf is ridiculous. It's not even important. So it's gonna be on the EX Bento well deserved rest. That is the cake. You can only put 2 cakes, and in actual play you never put more than 1 cake. And the reason they nerfed this to 2 is because if you put 10 or so cakes in the PS4 version and then the opponent gets hit by that, the game crashes. Because, you know, they weren't thinking, what happens if you put 10 cakes? Because in normal play, that's not gonna happen, right? So, yeah, they just force you to have at most 2, and that's all she wrote. And some small bug fixes here on some of her other Bento moves where they instantly exploded. I never encountered that. Seems like a pretty weird bug, but I'm glad it's solved. So yeah, this is just a change that really doesn't gonna affect Hisui in the slightest in her actual game plan. But I think it was worth noting that yeah, you can't crash the PS4 port anymore. So a character that's in a pretty interesting spot here in the West especially is solo Kohaku. So the thing about her is that some people put her in the lower end of the tier list. Some people say that she doesn't really have many strong mix-ups in this game, and that Kohaku pretty much is her but better in every way. People mostly complain about how the Molotovs are pretty useless moves, and here we go, and we have a very hard buff to all the non-EX versions of the Molotovs. So Magical Amber Missile on the ground and on the air, A and B versions are getting reduced landing recovery, so they may be more reliable to use as just neutral tools, which is pretty interesting. They've never really been like that. I can only think of Acadenza version B, where they literally moved you like from one corner to the other. but not sure how they wanna make this move work. And then I think this is the bigger one, the moon skill version of Magical Amber Missile has reduced land recovery, increased speed for startup and movement, and better hitbox, as if it wasn't already broken. So I think this is gonna be the big one. Might be better to just throw it even without Moon Drive. Might be good for the neutral and whatnot. So maybe Koha's movement might be more interesting than Kohamate's. That might be the distinctive, like that distinct feature between the two. So very curious about this buff. Probably has potential to change how Koha handles some neutral situations. That's all I'm gonna say. I definitely want to see this one play. So here we go, guys. This is the big one. This is the one where we were saying most of the bugs are getting fixed. There's one in particular that I don't see in this list, and this is worrying me a little bit because I think as a programmer myself, it might be a bug that's a little bit more in-depth than what we expect. So here we go. The big one, let's cut all the filler here. This doesn't matter, these are just minor bug fixes. Fix a bug where contact detection continued after a partner had been completed. So this pretty much means there's no more unblockable. The Kohamate's unblockable, it's gone. Gone for good. So this pretty much means that when the partner is attacking, you're not checking anymore for contact detection. So that doesn't check anymore if you're getting hit low or high or anything like that. That means you're not gonna be able to hit with a low and a high at the same frame. So in the frame that you're getting, maybe if you're getting a low, the game's not gonna check for a high. And if you're getting high, you're gonna hit by a low. So this is what it means. There's no more unblockable. If you wanted a simple terminology for this, yep, that's pretty much it. So yeah, the Kohamate's unblockable is gone. And I wanna say very few people took advantage of it. I think we were all expecting this to get hotfixed. So I think not many players wanted to commit. And you needed to learn a lot of confirms to get it done and whatnot. So yeah, good stuff. One thing, the Hisui-Mates glitch is not mentioned here at all. That's the glitch where Hisui can literally cross through you, go through you to the other side of the screen if she's player 1. While if Kohaku is behind you. So if you're sandwiched, Koha doesn't move, and then you run as Hisui, you literally clip and then cross, basically. And as you can hear that on the background, that's all the Halloween people. I had to turn it off early because there were like 80 kids, and I ran out of candy, so. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that bug is not here. That bug fix is not here. And like I said, I think as a programmer, this has to do with the way the game handles collisions, and that might be a little bit more in depth because you need to actually go through how the game engine and how it handles collisions and whatnot. There are other games like Under Night, for example, had a glitch with I believe it was Phone On, which on the right side of the screen she could cross out, but the left side she couldn't. So this is not weird in FPAN games. This is pretty common. This sort of deal with crossing up on who has a corner and who doesn't. So expect this to get fixed, but for now, it remains unknown. Maybe it's a stealth change, but they didn't bring it up. So, this is the most controversial, the most detrimental nerf of them all, Noelle. Only received bug fixes. Mind you the wording. So they're implying that what we're about to talk about was a bug. Damage voice. Slightly lower volume and frequency. So yeah guys, Noelle's voice has been nerfed. And I think this is just to show you guys that Frenchbird is actually listening to every feedback. Not just from the competitive players, not just us people talking about balance changes. Not just that. People that just want things that Noelle is screaming too loud and too often. Please tone that down. Okay, they're listening. They really want the experience to be as good as it can be for everyone. And I think that is very remarkable. That really shows. They're listening to our feedback. They're super active on social media. Common is super active. The MB Lumina page also tells us the bug fixes and everything. Keeps up to date. They've shown us that they listen to what we want to say. So please, just be respectful about it. But please continue to give your support and feedback to the game. And You can only go up from here. This is just to show you, you know, with every small detail, they're paying attention. So a character that I think has become a fan favorite, honestly, in the last couple weeks, Bluff, getting two very, very interesting buffs. Here on the 3C buff, in Expandex hitbox upwards. Well, for those who don't know, Bluff's anti-air has like a huge animation, but the hitbox is actually not reflected like on that. And I think they might buff that, and that might be a problem because that move is pretty big. So very interested to see what they do with that 3C. Might become an actual very reliable anti-air. So we don't really know. Really curious about this one. So aerial dash mid-air, reduce the delay necessary to be able to perform jump C. So yeah, his offense is also getting buffed. So very nice quality of life changes here for Bluff. Nice stuff to him. So it's time to talk about the Queen of the Vampires, the true ancestor, Red Arc. And this is one of my favorite characters, as you guys seen on my latest video. I am subbing her. Bro, if Hisui were in this game, she'll be my main for free. She's really fun. And her offense is getting buffed in a very interesting way. So they really want us to use the teleports. As you can see, forces startup and reduce recovery for all the charged versions of Teleport A and Teleport B. Also, EX Teleport has reduced recovery too, so it might even become safe on block. Well spaced, that is. Right now, it's around -7, but it's super punishable, super free punish. That might change. This buff might be the big one. The moon skill one, I gotta see how fast it becomes. But this one, the EX one, might make it so that you could do like a ring into EX teleport and maybe even be plus. You know, like the old arc, Red Arc could do that. The old Wark in Actors Again could do stuff to turn her teleport into plus frames. Believe it or not. So I really like that they're trying to return that trait. So yeah, I mean, very excited for this. And here's a character with the most buffs. The one that everyone's been saying, is it bottom 2? Is it the worst character in the game? I said it early on, people said I was capping, now other people said it, and now they don't think they're capping. So I don't know where we are now with this character, but Saber, getting a lot of buffs. So let's go over what she got. First of all, here IID got a massive buff here. So reduce delay necessary to be able to perform jump C, similar to Bluff. That's gonna make her IID pressure scarier, because right now you could argue it's pretty slow to get started with the IID, pretty easy to react. So 5B, reduce recovery, good buff. I think it's one of the buttons that not that many people are pressing. I think it's just because 2C gets the job done pretty much. 2B, it's a low now. So she has 3 lows now. Pretty good to have overall. I believe her 2B is the same frame data as her 2C. You know, someone please correct me in the comments, please. I don't want to misinform or anything, but I believe so. So I don't know if that's gonna make this button into better for mix-up, because you're already trying to use 2A. But yeah, just a small quality of life. Now she has 3 lows. Maybe if you call out a stand shield after air throw, you can get better reward straight up. JA getting better hitbox downwards, and you see that move usually tries to aim upwards. So just having that little more quality of life to be more stable, pretty good stuff. JB also expand the hitbox. Do you see what she's getting? She's getting so much stuff, so good. 214B, reduce recovery. So that move I believe is the low, right? It's the one that she goes forward and low. Reduce recovery on that, good stuff. A lot of people normally just use it to see for plus frames. And the charge version, this is the big one in my opinion, because the charge version of 214B is so slow. It's the one that's like a feint, but it's so slow that it's pretty easy to react. So depending on how fast this is now, that could make Saber's offense even scarier now. We gotta look into this one. And Avalon, this buff is so nice, and I'll tell you why. So Avalon, it has gotten priority over Moondrive. So Diaphone, which I think is one of the better savers in the world actually, not even in the US. And I team up in a 2v2 last week at an LBC, and we lost round 1 because he tried to do Avalon, but I believe he got Moondrive or like a Moon skill or something like that, and we died. Like, that's how we lost. So yeah, getting priority over Moondrive or anything is so important. So I'm glad this is a change. It's gonna make Avalon more consistent. I know a lot of people actually complain about that. So yeah, Saber getting a lot of love this patch. Of course, I feel like, yeah, I do feel all these buffs are earned. I think he's a character that definitely has a lot of weaknesses, especially with her air movement, her air to airs, but really basic. You could only play with JC because the other buttons weren't trash, but they were definitely like step downs. Right, so there we go. All the quality of life here, of course. So this last pages is just a lot of general bug fixing of the system, game, and whatnot. But there's one here, one little piece of information that I think is very worth mentioning. Fix the bug where rollbacks occur during round calls after skipping the opening animation in Network versus Play. Thank God you're listening to us again. You remember we usually say don't skip the intro, especially in the PC port, do not skip the intros. Because the opening gambit becomes just Dragon Ball Fighter teleporting around. You know, vanish on vanish action constantly. They seem to have found the cause of the bug, and yeah, this is getting addressed. So thank you so much again. These guys are really listening to our feedback. They really want the best experience possible. And again, it's so just commendable. I really thank the team. Yeah, this has been the actual update. So there's one more part that they showcased, and there's 4 DLC characters. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's give our thoughts about it. So here we are on the Melty Type Lumina official Twitter account. Follow them if you don't and you want to keep, track of all the news. But yeah, DLC content with new playable characters, stories, and battle stages coming this winter. So we're not just getting characters, we're getting stages. And you know what that means? More Raito music, baby. You know what it means. Amazing. Yeah, we're getting 2 characters this winter and 2 characters spring of 2022. We're getting more content, guys. This is amazing. It feels so good to be playing a fighting game that's getting constant support nowadays. It makes me so happy. I had to deal with a game that didn't get any updates for 10 years. So, I'm very happy to see what's gonna happen here. So, yeah, let's talk about my own opinions, my top 4, the 2 characters I want for this. Now, very important, I'm gonna bring up Tsukihime Remake spoilers, okay? Tsukihime Remake spoilers. I am throwing it out there. If you do not want to get spoiled for Tsukihime Remake, I think that's been enough. You can just exit the video, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. But yeah, we're gonna talk Tsukihime spoilers, any kind, okay? That's gonna be full on. Let's talk about what I think is gonna be the characters for DLC for this game, right? So here are my thoughts. So the first character I want for Melty Type Lumina is this lady right here hugging Tonoshiki at the very start of the novel. This only happens in the first 10 minutes of the novel. I want Aozaki Aoko as DLC. I'm very impressed this character did not make the base roster. She is a fan favorite after all. She is very popular because of my host Sukai no Yoru, very popular because of Tsukihime, and very popular with the fighting game community because of Melty Blood. People like her Crescent Moon style movement, zoning, mixed between zoner and rushdown, all these cool tools she has, and of course Full Moon, very easy to pick up, nice mix-ups, good damage. I think they can make a very interesting character in the Lumina system. They may turn her into more of a rushdown character if they go the Crescent Moon style, 3 jumps, 2 dashes, being this crazy movement character. That would be pretty cool too, because imagine mixing that with Moondrive. You get another jump, 4 jumps, and 3 dashes, something crazy like that. And the floor is lava, you're never touching the ground. I really want to see what they do with her. So yeah, I really want Ozaki Aoko as DLC. So here we have my favorite Saber phase, Mr. Mario Gallo Bestino. So this character could be really sick, because he's a puppeteer. He controls marionettes. Here's the pun. Yeah, I actually didn't know about that pun until someone brought it up. But yeah, in the novel, he doesn't do much. People that read it is gonna agree with me. There's one scene in particular that shows how he would fight. And I think it will be really interesting because we've never had a sort of puppet character in Melty. The closest thing we had was F-Mates, but that wasn't fully puppet character. So maybe they could make it work. I don't know how you make it work in a game as oriented as Melty, but yeah, I think Mario would be really sick as a character that have so much uniqueness to him. I think something, if you want to be a DLC character, something you need to have is uniqueness. Is a reason for you to be extra. You're not base roster, and there's gonna be a reason why. So we talked about Aoko. She will have more movement. Maybe the orb zoning changes the playstyle entirely. For Mario, it would be being a puppet character. Yeah, that's what I'm coming from. I really want Mario. I think it'll be really funny. Also, we will have all the Nintendo jokes. I'm old for that, man. A character I think we're gonna get, just because the character has a lot of moves that could be used for a fighting game, is actually Dead Apostle Noelle. So yeah, of course, Noelle turns into a Dead Apostle. And her move kit could be pretty cool. I think she'll be like a hybrid zoner, like a zoner, like kind of Lambda 11 from Blaze Blue. Kind of like a zoner that could go in and mix you up. I think definitely has potential for that. But yeah, I would say this is just what I expect. Because this character I would not have, because I actually hate her. Hate her with a passion. But yeah, I think definitely DA Noelle has potential to be a DLC. Just because of the roster of characters that we have available to us. I don't know what direction they really want to go. And you know, this is supposed to be a what if story. And you know, supposedly Noelle DA happens in the middle of the VN or whatever. But what doesn't matter, man. Saber is in this game. They can do whatever they want. But yeah, just based on the characters we have available from base Tsukihime remake, I think DA Noelle has definitely a high potential to make it into the roster. So for this last character, please forgive me because I couldn't find the right CG I wanted to use. I couldn't find it on the internet and I didn't feel like going through Yuzu and just doing it on my own. I was lazy like that. But yeah, I really want Arshiki. And if you read CL Route, you know what I'm talking about. That's when Roa takes over Tono's body and he can now use lightning magic on top of his already superhuman movement combined, and that is super cool. I think that's one of the coolest concepts in the novel, and I want to see it in this game. I think that could be our Nana Yashika replacement, because it will be completely different from Tono. It will be not just a clone character. It would be really cool, in my opinion. So I really think they could really make it work. Now, there's a lot of other candidates for this spot, and I feel the issue is that they might want to reserve these characters for Farside, for Red Garden. So I'm talking Satsuki, I'm talking Mio, I'm talking Dr. Arak, I'm talking all these characters that we saw them do stuff behind the scenes, but they didn't really show us much. Mio, for example, can transform into a panther and whatnot, but I think they're gonna reserve that character's development for Red Garden. And I think because of that, they're probably not gonna put him as DLC right away. They might put him later down the road. So yeah, these are why I'm saying, yeah, we're gonna have 2 clone characters for DLC. They're not clone characters per se, but they're, you know, the same character, the same person. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So that's it for this video. I think again that we can only go up from here. I'm very excited for the future. I think we are in a very good spot, guys, especially because the team really is listening to feedback. That is something that I saw from this especially, is that the team really wants to put a good game. You can see, for example, Kamune tweeting out help with rollback issues, with stuff like that. He really wants to push this game to its limit, and I'm all here for that. You know, I think a lot of us are here. I'm just happy that we can work. You know, we're enjoying your content, but please, you know, please fix these things. Please help us here, fix these bugs. They're getting on it. You know, so very happy about that. Yeah, just like that, I want to end this video. Thank you guys again, okay, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.